seems as though within the FWO there is quite a stress on spiritual friendship or Kalyana Mitrata, and also on Sangha. Could you say something about this?
I think one could say that even to say that spiritual friendship is important within the FWBO is not correct. I think one would have to say that the FWBO was a spiritual friendship that provides the overall framework, as it were, within which everything else, including the FWBO, exists. I think perhaps we should put it in that way. And this ties up with what I was saying earlier on about the fact that human beings need human beings. If you want to develop spiritually, which means if you want to develop as a real human being, you need to be able to interact with others who also want to be real human beings and who perhaps have achieved a greater and a higher measure of true humanity than you yourself have as yet attained. I mean, those who have experienced this will know how very, very helpful, how very encouraging, and how very inspiring it is. Unfortunately, in the modern West, we seem to have lost this to a great extent, and this is why we need to repeat that great emphasis which the Buddha did give on spiritual friendship. Spiritual friendship, we might say, is roughly of two kinds. There's what we call the horizontal spiritual friendship and the vertical spiritual friendship. The horizontal spiritual friendship is between people who are roughly on the same spiritual level. They may or may not be of the same age, but they're roughly on the same spiritual level. They help one another. Sometimes one is up and the other is down. So when your friend is up, he helps you. When your friend is down, you help him. So it isn't a one-sided sort of relationship. And this kind of horizontal spiritual friendship, as we call it, is very, very common in the FWBO. It includes practically everybody on one level or another. But then we have the vertical spiritual friendship, and that is as between people who are definitely on different spiritual levels. It's not that within the FWO people are particularly bothered trying to work out whether they're above or below somebody else in their spiritual development. But as you get to know somebody better, as you get to know them more deeply, you will come to know whether he is more experienced than you or not, whether you have got more to gain on the whole spiritually from him or he from you. In that way you will come to a sort of mutual understanding which may not even be known to other people. But it may be known sometimes to other people, it may even be formalized. And this is why sometimes people who are approaching ordination or are thinking of taking ordination or the idea of ordination seriously ask to existing order members to be their Kalyana Mitras, that is to say their, so to speak, official spiritual friends, with the responsibility of keeping in contact with them, with the individual Mitra, and helping him or helping her towards ordination or definite spiritual commitment to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So the vertical spiritual friendship corresponds very roughly to what in traditional Buddhism and other traditions too is usually known as the guru-disciple relationship. We don't usually speak in those terms because I personally feel that the whole idea of the guru and guru-disciple relationship has been rather abused and misused and even exploited in modern times, and has been the occasion of all sorts of quite undesirable developments. So we don't use that sort of language. We use the language of spiritual friendship, Kalyana Mitrata, which is thoroughly traditional Buddhist language. And whether you're relating by way of horizontal spiritual friendship or vertical spiritual friendship, well, that is a matter really which concerns the people immediately involved. It doesn't need to be advertised.